From a musician standpoint, growth comes in time. Growth comes with hard work and perseverance. I understand the world is what they perceive on TV and how the media is projecting it. It's made to bring you down, but take a look around and don't let it affect your daily life. Until it affects your daily life, don't let it permeate, and always try to stay positive and try to grow yourself, because you never know, saying hello or asking somebody, how their day's going could change their life forever, or prevent something catastrophe, a catastrophe or whatever. That's my approach. I've had some rough times in my life. I've been to some dark places in my life, but I'm alive. I've died twice. I've been clinically dead twice. I died on the operating table. And I appreciate life and the people that I have, and I love them all very much. And I try to stay positive, and I try to bring them up and keep them, going. So just always remind yourself that, yeah, somebody always could have it worse than you, and there's always a brighter day coming.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters on That podcast. I'm your host, Brian, and today welcome special guests. We got Chris from the band Nightmare Empire. How you doing today, brother?
Good, man. How are you doing, Brian?
Not too bad. Which part of the world are you guys hailing from?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. And sorry, I'm a Steelers fan, so I guess we at least split it evenly between you and the Browns. So I guess all's fair in love and war. So.
Well, I'm not a football fan, so that's fine with me.
Okay. So I guess, do you get into any sports? Anything with the Cavaliers or Indians?
I used to be a big baseball fan, not so much anymore. I love the Cavs, love basketball, but I love hockey. I like the Boston Bruins, especially.
That's a bit of a paradox, but okay.
Yeah.
So, actually, your only hockey teams really is Columbus. So unfortunately, a little bit of a distance right there. But I guess, is there bad blood between like you guys, Cincy, and Columbus? Is that how it works in the state of Ohio?
I mean, a little bit here, but it's more against Boston and Cleveland, or it's more against Pittsburgh and Cleveland. And whenever LeBron comes to town, he gets either booed or cheered. So
I still remember that night, but I want to say I was in college, because I think that was 2010 when he said, "I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and play with the Miami Heat." So
I remember that day too. It was the biggest slap in the face somebody could do to a city, but what are you going to do?
Go where the money goes. So,
yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got the sports out of the way there too, but I guess what you and the boys been up to recently?
Well, today we just released our next single, "Don't Feed the Animals." It's on all streaming platforms. We're currently writing all new material. We have about 8 to 10 songs in the works. We have about 5 of them, maybe I'd say 6 of them are completed. So, we're just basically working on our next releases, getting shows lined up for the year, keeping up on social media, new merchandise, perfecting our crafts and all that stuff.
That's good to hear. Actually, I was listening to you guys last night, but I think it was, unfortunately, you said you just released "Don't Feed the Animals" today?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the one I think was the most recent one was "The Games We Play."
Yeah.
So, all right. We get to touch base on the music here just a little bit here too. But First off, Chris, welcome to my podcast here, mate. And the way it's going to work is, I just want to ask you some questions, get to know you more both as the musician, but also as the individual as well here too. So, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man.
All right. So for the first question here, let's just start off with you in general, and then we'll get to the band a little bit afterwards. But for the first part here, tell the audience your backstory. How did you become a musician, and who are you?
Well, my name's Christopher Herbert. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, born and raised. My musical journey started when I was about 4 years old, almost 5. I saw Metallica's "The Unforgiven" music video released on MTV, and I was just completely enamored, immersed into it. I just was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. From the cinematography, from the scenery, from how the band played off into the music, how the music was. It was really captivating to me. And then as I got older, my dad, he listened to, CCR or a lot of blues music from Howlin' Wolf to Muddy Waters, to country music, which I'm not a big fan of. But then from then, when I got into middle school, fifth grade, I started to play trumpet. And from there, I played trumpet for about 3 years, and then I stopped. I switched to guitar, but I also went to music camps. I went to a camp called Summer Rocking It. I sang a song by Muddy Waters called "I Got My Mojo," working on a record. I got early studio time when I was young, and then I started to get really into metal music. I found more Metallica. I found Slayer, Megadeth, and I wanted to be a drummer. My biggest influence is Lars Ulrich, Vinnie Paul, Pantera, and Joey Jordison of Slipknot. And then from there, I started jamming with people. I formed my first band when I was 19. Played some shows. For my second band when I was 21, and then I took a little bit of a break from there. After that, when I hit about 26, 27, I formed another band in that for about, 3 or 4 years. And then took another break for about a year and a half. And then I got the itch again. And that's when I found, Ken and Joe in Nightmare Empire. And I've been in that ever since. And I also have other projects that I do, but this is my main project.
We said MTV, were you kind of also into like the Jackass, Via La Bam? I think Rob and Big were also really big on that channel.
Yeah, yeah. CKY, Viva La Bam, all that stuff. We were just. My brother was a skateboarder. I never liked skateboarding, but it was cool to watch. I'd go to the X Games and stuff downtown, and it was. That was a huge part too. That's when I found out about death metal. Dimmu Borgir, Cannibal Corpse, all that stuff. So it was cool.
Actually, I thought it would have been more Cradle Filth, since you did see Cradle Filth a couple of times on Via La Bam or Guar.
Guar, Cradle Filth, all of it. Yeah, for sure.
I think I would seriously ask my question whenever I was seeing Guar. I'd be like, "What are you guys on? Seriously?"
So. Oh my gosh! I've never gone to a Guar show, but a couple of my old friends used to go, and they would come back. They would wear white, and they would come back just red and yellow and whatever they were throwing out into the crowd.
Rest in peace, David Brocky. We miss your brother.
Yeah.
So,
right.
But it is good to see Guar still going strong there too. And not to get off topic, but I actually do know a friend of mine who actually was in Richmond. He still lives there, and he's part of the band Sacrificial Betrayal. So go support those guys first off. But he did know David Brocky at one point.
Oh, so, very cool. Very cool.
It's like, I missed my chance to talk with the man. So, all right. Much love and respect to David Brocky, even though he was an interesting character, though, too. But he stuck to his guns. So
yeah.
All right. So I guess let's go ahead and jump into Nightmare Empire here, too. So obviously, you jumped around various projects and still technically are working various ones. But I guess what really was the motivation behind forming Nightmare Empire? Just simply the itch?
It was, man, I love to play. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the fame. I just love to play, and I just had the itch, and I started looking on Craigslist. I found the ad, and it's two guys, they cited their influences, and I was like, man, that's right up my alley. They sent me some songs. I was like, I'm in. I tried out, and they were just like, yeah, we want you.
The force is strong with this one, if we wanted to say so.
Yeah, Darth Vader's my favorite, man.
There's that too.
Yeah.
So I guess where did the name come from? Was it one of the other guys who came up with it?
We were, one of the other guys came up with it. We were going through a bunch of names, and none of them were sticking. But then, we were looking for originality, right? We were looking for something that, was something that we haven't heard of, something that nobody's copyrighted, none of that, And, I like the Empire and Star Wars, and, I also like horror. And, I heard Nightmare Empire. I'm like, that's great. It's a great play. It's catchy. It's easy to remember. And, and it's original too, which I'm very happy about. And our slogan is "Come join our Nightmare Empire." So come join the Empire, that's how we perceive it at shows and stuff like that.
I do have to ask, do you do the whole da 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 whenever you start the show, for instance?
We've actually talked about having an intro like that. I would like to do the Imperial March. It would be really cool. And especially in the metal version of it, it's heavy. But we haven't done anything like that just yet.
I don't know how to work with copyright. I'd be kind of worried about that, to be honest. But
here's the thing with copyright. It's funny you bring that up because I talked to one of my friends about it. As long as we're not making money on it, we don't put a record out with it on there. We could use it live. We could put it on a radio show, and that's it. It's as long as we don't make money off of it.
The biggest thing: do not make money off of it. So,
Yeah.
now we're pissed because now you're making money.
Right. We want our pennies. Bring it. Give us our pennies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Money. So, it comes deja vu full circle again. Go where the money goes.
That's right.
That's unfortunate. Mm-hmm. So, I guess before we do talk about your other projects, I guess Nightmare Empire, I guess give a little bit more of the history about it. So, after you joined with your other mates, I guess what you guys do then? Was that when you released your first EP, or did you do singles first?
Well, when I joined, it was about tail end of 2018. Well, October 2018, and then we were going through stuff in 2019. We had a guitar player. He dropped off. We found another guitar player. Then my buddy Matt freed up. He finished school. I sent him the music, and all he texted me back was expiration date. And I knew he was in right then and there. So we spent a good majority of 2019 prepping, getting the songs down, writing some more songs. And then unfortunately, we got hit by COVID, and that really slowed things down. We were devastated by it. We, obviously we went through the regulations of not, meeting up, no contact. But once they said, hey, you guys can start getting close and stuff like that, we're like, all right, it's back on. So we spent a good year, 2020, really hunkering down, and then after we were allowed to get back, we were, it was faucets all the way out again. And then we had our first show in, end of 2021, beginning of 2020. Nope, January 2022 was our first show with Nightmare Empire. And then after that, it's all history.
That's good. So I guess talk about some of the songs. So you just released your new one today, Don't Feed the Animals. Mm-hmm. So the other ones I was listening to, which actually sounded pretty killer there too. So
thanks.
Did you have any hand with any of the lyrics or anything with what the themes are about?
Yeah, I do for the most part know the themes. I do have a hand in some of the lyrics. I offer some kind of lyrical content. If something's too repetitive, I like to break up the monotony with it and try to, interject some other lines in there that kind of stay like they rhyme or they kind of, are linear together. But as for, what the songs are about, for the most part, I could probably explain 95% of them. There's one or two I'm kind of like, I don't really know.
I guess in that case, did you have a hand with Don't Feed the Animals, Dead Roads, the games we play, and do you know what those songs are about?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So our latest release, Don't Feed, it's just about today's, social being, how people are, just basically being animals in the world and not taking things in a methodical approach to things and a logical approach and, playing the victim to everything. And they're the ones that are actually causing all the issues, and they don't realize that. So, that's why don't feed them, don't give them more fuel, that's how it is. For Dead Roads, it's about a motorcycle ride, just riding alone and then dying alone, basically. The course is I ride alone along these dead roads all life long. And then at the end of the song, the motorcycle crashes and he essentially, or he or she, it's up to your interpretation, essentially just, dies. And then the games we play, that one, it could be interpreted a lot of different ways. The main thing is,
Game of Thrones, maybe in a way.
No, it's the games we play with people, right? How it could be a relationship where you have somebody's just playing games, they're not really serious about it, or it could be, Ken, our singer, he does like the Game of Thrones, he loves that, so that could be a play of it. It's just up to interpretation, really.
Actually, there was two things I actually thought of. The first thing was saying I ride alone. You made me think of Godsmack right then and there. Ride's a lot better than standing. So,
yeah, absolutely.
It's a lot more funner too. So, but I was also going to say in terms of, it was more like a Sons of Anarchy sort of thing where the person dies at the end. This wasn't that. Jack's season finale moment where he stretches out his arms.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember
oncoming truck. I mean, it's going to hurt like hell, but that's probably a hell of a way to go out, to say the least. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that show I loved that show. That show was really good.
It started a little slow. I wasn't too much of a fan of season 2, but I got to pick up with season 3 again. I think that's where it really started to kick off.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
So wait for us, Charlie Human. I will return at one point. So,
well, they're talking about doing a spinoff with the the original 9. I would like to see that when the Sons of Anarchy formed in Charming.
Oh, so sort of like a prequel.
Yeah.
Well, I know they did Mayans, which I guess was like the Mexican bike gang that they were talking about right there, and then maybe another prequel. It was just from their side, and then before that, I guess they got involved in Charming. I don't know. So, I got vested with TV. I still haven't finished The Sopranos. I finally got back up into it recently.
The Sopranos are so good. That's such a good show.
I mean, it's one of those. It's excessive, but then it's great, and it's also funny at the same time. So,
it's hilarious. Yeah, I agree with you.
So, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess what's the plans for this year in terms of 2026? I guess you said outside of Don't Feed the Animals today, but you guys got some new material coming out pretty soon?
Oh yeah, we're gonna hit the studio again in April. We're gonna do what we're doing is that we're going to release a new song, and then we're gonna release an old song from the record. We kind of, we liked how the first record turned out, but we want to kind of make it a little heavier, more aggressive guitars, and kind of add in some more backing vocals and kind of just do that, little EPs here and there. I think we're not going to do full length records anymore. The industry is kind of moving away from that. I mean, obviously the bigger bands, like Exodus or Testament or Metallica or, any of those big bands, they tend to release it because they have the funds for it. But, I'm just going to say it, recording is expensive. It costs a lot of time. And, some of us have families, we have full-time jobs. It's difficult to find the time to actually sit down for a week and go into the studio. Because if we did a full length, it would take us probably a month to get all the recording down, maybe 2, and then you have the mixing, and then you have the mastering, and then you have to do the printing, and then you have to do the releasing. It's a lot. So 1 or 2 songs, yeah, exactly. So 1 or 2 songs at a time is more feasible, especially with, bands that are smaller, such as mine.
It's like, good God, I got to win the lottery now.
Yeah. I'll say this. Ken, our singer, says it every practice. He's like, I'm going to win the lottery this week. I'm going to win it, and we're not going to have to worry about anything.
It'd be like, that'd be the day.
Right.
At that point, it better be split evenly at that point, but I think there'll be sides first off, but I think at the same time, it'd be like, sayonara, suckers. So,
yeah, absolutely.
So, next thing you know, we get a penthouse down in like Fort Lauderdale or something.
Right.
I don't know. What can you do? So, I guess that case, keep praying. But I guess, actually, you guys still have the Powerball. That's right. That's a national lottery system they have going there with Powerball. Mm-hmm. No, that's right. I think Batch 6, is Batch 6 national, or is that also?
I don't think so. I think the Mega is and the Powerball is.
Okay,
that's
just
it.
one picture.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not a gambler, so I don't really know.
Smart thinking. So,
let me just throw my money in the toilet, right?
I went to Atlantic City and actually did the whole slot machine right there.
Yeah.
And I bet, I forget what effect they called it, but it's when the lights start flashing up at you. It's like, oh, I'm doing well. And like, no, I lost my whole $20 just like that. So.
Yeah, I know people that have gone in, they go in with $5,000 and they walk out with 20. I know people that have walked in with $500 and they walk out with negative 500. It's just, I like to pay my bills. I don't want to have to worry about not paying my bills.
In which case, ask if the person who walked out with the 20 G's is Irish in that case. So, something like that.
He's got the pot of gold on his back.
He's got something. He's got the luck of the Irish, or something beyond the luck. So
Right.
I don't know. All right. But I know you mentioned about other projects that you're a part of there too. So are you more of a session drummer, or are these like your own projects that you've came up with?
Well, the other project I have is called MEV. It's called Morir es Vivir. It's Dying is Living is the translation in Spanish. It's actually from Resident Evil 4, if anybody is interested. Um, it is a technical death metal instrumental band. It's just three of us. We have stuff on Spotify. We actually just released a single too called "The Blade Prevails." A lot of the stuff we have is video game oriented for our titles because we're all nerds. But that's my other big project too. Outside of that, I was in a couple others, but I stopped those. It's just too much time and just it's too much energy, and I just want to focus on what I really want to do.
Actually, when you did mention about technical death metal instrumentals, first I was thinking as Animals Leaders,
Oh,
or
yeah, they're good.
well, there's that. I think there was actually a band called Galactic Empire
There
that
is.
did the Star Wars themes. Yeah,
Yeah, they're actually coming back to Cleveland.
are they?
Yeah.
So does that mean they dress up in like the whole stormtrooper outfits or something like that?
They'll do Vader, Stormtroopers, the Imperial Guard, I think Boba Fett, and I think a couple others. I'm not too sure.
I'm going to say, pray to God they do not get bought out by Disney.
No,
So
no, it will be a disaster.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say that was like as blasphemous as you could possibly get if something like that happens. So,
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
I mean, at the time I didn't really mind, but I thought maybe it was just more of beating a dead horse when they did the whole sequels with 7, 8, and 9. If we're going chronologically with the last three that they came out with.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, no, I could attest to that. When I saw 7, I was like, okay, this is kind of like a New Hope replayed, and then I saw 8, and then I saw 9. And I'm like, I like them because I'm just a Star Wars junkie. I love Star Wars, but when it came to the linearity of the timeline and the creativity of it, it just kind of was like rehashed. It was like kind of giving the people what they wanted without really, digging into the creativity, digging into a better storyline. I wasn't say I was disappointed, but I will say I was not wowed.
otherwise, I think it was more like that whole meme you see with the one guy with the big glasses and the hat on. He's like, nah, that whole deal. it's like every Star Wars fan, worst nightmare came true.
Oh
So,
yeah, but I will say I did like oh gosh, what's the one that's right before New Hope? I can never remember the title of it.
Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One was fantastic. I thought Solo was good too. And I did like the Vader series or the Kenobi series, and I did like um, the Mandalorian. I thought that was really good.
I think they did Book of Boba Fett. Did they only do like 2 seasons of that one?
Yes, it was 2 seasons.
Okay. So at least good to see he's going strong.
Oh yeah,
I got-
he crawled out of that Sarlacc with no problems.
Apparently, something happened there too. So. I'm trying to remember how it happened to begin this. I thought someone accidentally bumped into him and he just flew right inside the Java ship and it just rolled right into the Sarlacc's mouth.
I think I remember it was Solo. He was trying to get Lando out of the Sarlacc pit, and then Chewie was like saying Boba Fett, and Solo's like Boba Fett, and he turns around and he ignites his jetpack and he flies into the side of Jabba's barge, and then he just falls into the Sarlacc, and that was it.
R.I.P. temporarily.
R.I.P. temporarily. That's
So,
right. Yeah.
All right. So I know you mentioned for influences Lars Ulrich. I guess did you ever look to all the other ones in thrash metal, like what you got with Gene Hoglan, Dave Lombardo, Charlie Benante, and all those guys?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen Slayer multiple times. I think Dave Lombardo is one of the pioneers of double bass. He's so clean. His fills are fast. Gene Hoglan, I mean, in Death, oh my gosh, he's so good in Death. But like Charlie Benante's fantastic. I do like Tom Hunting of Exodus. I think he's very unique in his style and his approach. His timing it's so odd, but it's so good at the same time. Vinnie Paul, Pantera with the groove. I mean, he's bar none one of the best. In my opinion, I think he's one of the best. But then I got into some of the new metal stuff, especially Slipknot, Joey Jordison with his, very aggressive approach to drums. It wasn't so thrashy, but it was more kind of a little bit of a hip hop base, but it was also death metal because he did do blast beats. But now, like, with my influences now, I really like Beneath the Massacre / Baby Metal's drummer Anthony Barone. He is something else. I've never seen a drummer like that, especially playing metal. And I do like oh, he quit. No, he got fired. Aborted's drummer. I can't remember his name. He's really good too.
I thought it was like Brian something, to be honest, too.
I think so, but he quit because there was allegations against him, which I hope are untrue. But hey, you know how the world is these days.
Unfortunately, turned into the Tim LaBasses of Aborted in that case.
Tim LaBass. Oh man, I did like As I Lay Dying too. The song 94 Hours, especially during the break with the double kicks. When I heard that, I was like 13 or something like that, 14 years old. I was like, what is this?
It's like, what's happening?
Yeah, I know.
Actually, did you ever try to cover 94 Hours or do any drum covers in the past?
No, I mean, I'm not so much of a cover guy. I've done them. Like I started off with, doing simpler stuff like, Enter Sandman or NIB by Black Sabbath. I've done like People Equal Shit by Slipknot. I'll do parts of songs like Dave McClain of Machine Head. There's a fill. I think it's in Beautiful Morning. It goes bop, boop, 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 chop, poof, and I'll do that because me and my buddy, me and Matt, the bass player, we do like that song a lot. I was in a cover band or tried to get a cover band going. And I was also in a cover band for a brief stint. I learned like 50 songs. I was playing anything from, Rolling Stones to Alice in Chains to Creed, because I wanted to make money on it, because after COVID, there was no cover bands. The market was wide open. And cover bands, if you're good, you have a good singer, you have a good stage, show. I mean, they'll pay you $1,000 to $1,500 a night, which is great money.
I would say I probably should have went with the Journey sort of trippy band if you wanted to. So
yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I know you had mentioned COVID a couple of times, so we'll go ahead and jump into that a little bit. So you had mentioned about the music as well as even the scene, about how bad it was impacted there too. But how bad was COVID for you on a personal and a family level?
Oh man, I got sick. I got the Delta variant. I literally thought I was going to die, and I had to call the ambulance a couple of times. But I didn't. I just, made sure. I was sick for 2 weeks. I had a pulse ox with me. I'd fall asleep. I'd wake up. My pulse oximeter was like 60%. I'd take some deep breaths. I'd get my, O2 levels up. But I mean, it was to the point where, I couldn't get off the couch. I couldn't taste, smell anything. My whole body was just achy. I had a fever of like 102 for a week and a half straight. I lost, I think I lost like 25 to 30 pounds within a week. It was bad. And, it impacted my family too. My mom got sick, my brother got sick, friends got sick. Luckily my job was nice enough and they gave us, COVID PTO. So we didn't have to take out of our actual sick time. They had a separate sick time. So it was real accommodating. But it was me. I enjoy my solitude and my solidarity. So not being around people and stuff like that, I was like, okay, I'll just watch TV or do whatever, read a book. But after about 2 weeks of being sick, I was kind of like, I need to see somebody because it's just like,
It's almost like Night of the Living Dead before you know it. So that'll do.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was crazy too because I was living in the city when COVID first hit, and I mean, there was nobody. I mean, you look outside, you're like, where is everybody? It was crazy. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah, actually, I got COVID. It was a little after, I think, when they started lifting more of the restrictions. And me and my family actually went down to Nashville because it was our first time actually going on Broadway and doing that sort of stuff. So, of course, someone's bound to have it. So when I got back, I mean, I tried hopping on my drum set. I couldn't do No Guts, No Glory from Bolt Thrower. It was just that bad.
Yeah.
So I did get the fever too, and it lasted a little bit. But did you take those like little red pills, Paxlovid, I think they were called?
No. I got the what I did was I got the vaccine. After I got sick, I got the vaccine, and then I got the second booster shot. I felt weird. I never got the third booster shot. But ever since then, I had never gotten COVID. It took me about a year to a year and a half to get right again.
Sense of smell and all that stuff safely returned?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I was going to say, that would suck.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, I would be sitting there like trying to like, drink, broth or something. I'm like, I can't taste this at all. I can't even smell it. It was the weirdest thing.
I was always picturing like the Patrick scene when they go into Sandy's place for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, what kind of place is this? So,
yeah.
So
that's funny.
I thought it'd be like that sort of scenario there too. But
yeah.
All right. But on a serious note, it's good to see you and the family are doing well there too. So
thank you. You too.
All right. It's good to have you along here for the ride.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. But dive into more of the, I guess, music scene. First off, have you guys done any sort of touring, or are you just kind of sticking around Ohio?
Yeah, Cleveland, I guess. No touring yet. I mean, the most we did was we did 3 shows in 9 days, and that was in 2023, and that was awesome. We are trying to get shows, either in other city, more than 2 hours away. We've been playing in Cleveland a lot, and we're not. It's like we love the scene, we love the people, but we're like overplaying these same venues over and over again. So we're partnering with a company to try to get us just shows on the weekends and maybe a possible tour for a week to 2 weeks. Just barring scheduling. But it's difficult, getting everybody together and try to do it. Because, I mean, it costs money. You got to get hotels, transportation, have to have extra money, just in case something happens, and food.
So I guess, would you consider maybe doing a festival if the opportunity presented itself, regardless?
Absolutely. I mean, we've looked into the Milwaukee Death Fest. We've looked into the Milwaukee Metal Fest. We've looked into the Chicago Fest. We've looked into... what's the one? There's one I think there's one in West Virginia. My guitar player would know. He's looked into it too. So yeah, absolutely, we would love to. We would actually.
Or do they do Ozfest in Germany, or is that pretty much wherever, or the UK?
Ozfest hasn't been around for a while, but I know Sharon released something a couple weeks ago. I think I saw that she wants to there's talks of bringing it back, which would be awesome. Oh, I loved Ozfest. I went to 2001. I went to 2004. It was.
It was just to say we touched the divine that night. If we wanted to say so.
Oh my God! I mean, I saw the original Black Sabbath, Judas Priest. I saw Demi Borgir. I mean, I saw the old school Slipknot. Hatebreed. Oh my God, Black Label Society, strung out Phil Anselmo and his Superjoint Ritual, and they played 3 songs in a 45-minute set. It was poor Phil.
You say strung out? Was he kind of going through that whole phase at that point, or I guess was that the whole thing? He was having those issues with Dimebag and all that stuff.
He was having issues with Dimebag, but he was also his thing was that he had like bulging discs in his lower back, and they wanted to fuse it in like 95 or like 94, 95. But Pantera, I mean, it was a trade. I mean, he didn't want to stop it. So he self-medicated, and he was starting to use like muscle relaxers. Then he went to like Percocets or Vicodins, and then someone introduced him to heroin, and then it just got worse and worse and worse. And 02 to 04, Phil Anselmo was probably the worst he was on the drugs, unfortunately. But I'm glad he's alive and doing well. Down's playing. He's doing the Pantera tribute. He'll do the Superjoint stuff once in a while. I'm very happy about that.
I thought they were thinking about releasing the new Down material. They got Kirk Weinstein, Jimmy Bauer, and some of the other guys. I don't know if it's... Did they?
Yeah, they released a new song.
Oh,
it's weird. It's weird, but it's still Down.
I mean, weird how? Just not the same sound you got with like Nola, for instance?
Oh, God, Nola was so good. Or a bustle on your head, Jordan. Oh, my God. No, not the same sound. Not the same. Over the Under was good. I did like Over the Under, but not the sound is not what it used to be.
Yeah, it was almost like that was the apex, was the Nola album.
Oh, my God. Stone the Crow, Temptations Wings. That stuff.
Very made smoke too, even though it got a little repetitive, but it was still like, man, that's a catchy breakdown they got going there.
Oh, so. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Also, it was kind of deceiving too with it fades out and then comes back in.
Oh,
with the
I
breakdown.
love when bands do that. You're just like, oh, it's over. Wait a minute, it's not over. Pantera did it with it was off their Great Southern Trendkill record. Was it 13 Steps?
I have to listen again.
I think it was one of the. It was on the back half of the record. It was either 13 Steps to Nowhere or The Underground in America. One of those two.
I
No,
would say maybe later, maybe I don't know, but I will say
Sandblasted.
Floods.
It was Sandblasted Skin. That's what it was.
Sandblasted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, favorite Floods. For some reason, I just love that one too. So, all right. Rest in peace, Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul. We miss you, boys.
Yes, we do.
All right. So, I guess still sticking with the original question I answered. I guess how's the music scene been from what you've seen? Because I know you mentioned there has been, I guess, much cover bands after they lifted those restrictions. I guess has it been doing well since then?
The music scene in Cleveland is very strong. I mean, the bands that are around here. I mean, the musicianship. I mean, people are all together. It's not divided like it used to be. Everybody helps each other out. We often get shows together. You know, we camaraderie together. You know, if somebody needs help, you know, filling in a spot or something like that, you know, people try to do it to their best of abilities. And the band names are cool, you know, and, you know, local bands, you know, they put on little big like festival shows and stuff like that, like at the Beachland Ballroom. There's a Shotgun Bowl. You know, you have bands like Olathe or Assault or Iron Bitch or Iron Brigade on there, or you have Tundra. You'll have. I mean, there's so many good bands now. It's just it's a breath of fresh air, and we actually get along, which is cool.
I say that's a big thing there too, because I think there is maybe some heat between some bands. I think also maybe some of like the death metal bands you heard from like Florida, for instance. I think they said you would never see Deicide, Morbid Angel, or Obituary on like the same tour ticket, for instance, or two, because I don't know if it's just political or belief differences. So I don't know. We need to make something like that happen at some point.
That would be sweet. I would see that. I would definitely see that.
Actually, their Deicide is actually going to be with Immolation, Rotting Christ, and Behemoth. So,
ooh, what a bill that is.
That is Godless 4. They're coming to Pittsburgh. I'm pretty sure they would hit Cleveland too. So go get on Ticketmaster, get those tickets.
If they don't hit Cleveland, you know, Pittsburgh's only 2 hours away. It's not a far drive.
I guess not. It's at the Roxy Theater. That's where they're going to be at. And that's actually, I would say that's the loudest venue I have been in, to be honest. But I think it's because the obvious, they turned the music up as the set list continues on. So I can see. But it is good to see Cleveland's doing well there, buddy.
Oh,
so, so keep it going strong. But would you say it's pretty diverse? So you would have some people who are perhaps more rap, hip hop, and then there's metal, rock, that sort of thing? Or is it like somehow cohesive with all those genres?
I mean, you have great rock bands like my one buddy Terry. He has a like a rock, like it's a dirty rock and roll band called Bessemer Saints. We'll do shows with them, you know, and we draw, they'll draw, and we all get along. It's great, you know. And then you have, you know, like the Vortex in Akron. They put on a lot of rap shows, and the town there is really good. I mean, you have a lot of metal. Cleveland's a metal town. I mean, you know, you got, you know, Mushroomhead. You had Nine Inch Nails for the industrial stuff to come out of here. You know, but you know, with the diversity of the bands, you know, it's just like we all mix together pretty well. Like, you know, like Nightmare, you know, we have some rock elements, you know, we're mostly, you know, power metal or metal, but we have like rock elements in there. But then we mix well with other bands because, you know, they have you know, heavier tones, or they play in a, you know, a little bit lower of a tuning, which makes it heavier.
That's very good. So,
yeah.
All right, keep going strong there, boys.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. I guess when you guys were trying to make the sound initially, I guess who were you kind of looking for as an influence for the sound? So did you want to bring in more of the thrash element, and then the other members had some other parts of metal they wanted to incorporate, like power metal, like you mentioned earlier?
You know, the way I approach, you know, the sound is whatever the riff is, whatever the feeling is, whatever the mood is. It's not like we need to write a thrash metal song, or we need to write a power metal song, you know, we need to write this. It's just like, what did you come up with? Like, what was your feeling at the time? Like, you know, the song Raven, you know, it's got nice clean melodic, you know, guitars, and it comes in heavy, right? You know, kind of like a Nothing Else Matters, you know. And then we have the song Expiration Date, you know, that's just pure thrash metal. But it's got a heavy breakdown, in the middle. It just depends on the mood, really, and especially like what our guitar players come up with. He'll be like, "Hey, I got this riff," or I'll throw an idea, be like, "Hey, I want to write a song that's more metalcore. It's got more, staccato-y type, alternate, picking stuff or whatever, or like be more aggressive on the riffs, not so notey, maybe a little bit more simple." I mean, it just really what they have to show us, and then what we put together as a band.
Or you could probably do like the Jet style. I hope I pronounce it right. I'm sorry if I do, but you think more. Actually, you think more of like the breakdown you hear in Domination from Pantera, for instance, the dun 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 dun. That old deal. So that'd be pretty cool. And I'm sorry I asked this question a little late, but can you tell the audience the whole lineup currently is?
So it's me on drums, then Matt Berenger on bass and backing vocals. You have Benjamin Green on lead guitar. You have Joe Mitchell on rhythm guitar, and then you have Ken Dugan on lead vocals.
I would say, was Ben doing some of the sort of Eddie Van Halen sort of finger picking there and some of the solos I was listening to? So I'm pretty sure it was going to start turning into like that solo you hear in Eruption, for instance. So.
Yeah. He loves his favorite band is Iron Maiden, so you're going to hear a lot of I'm not a big fan of Iron Maiden, but was it not Steve Harris? He's the bass player. Oh God, I can't remember Janik, and then there's
Nico McBrain.
Oh, I love Nico. He's fantastic. He retired unfortunately because he's like almost 80.
Well, I think he was still having problems because I thought he had a stroke a while back, and I guess it was probably affecting him. And then, obviously, with age, time does not heal as quickly as it probably should.
No.
So, but I did see him live. I got to see him live, so I could at least post that. So,
nice.
So, unfortunately, it was like his stairs are like so high up, as well as the cymbals are like certain spots right there too.
Oh yeah, he's like. He's way up there, man.
Well, you can't really see him. That's the thing. So it's almost like we're sure it was Nico McBrain in the back. Right. Actually, I would say definitely. I guess it was the first album too when they got Bruce Dickinson, and it was Number of the Beast. So
that's a great record.
It was a great record.
Yeah.
So I would like to cover Prisoner at some point on drums. So
I would like to do the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
That's Power Slave. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long one. So have you guys
14 minutes?
If you're kind of excluding maybe the little part there, I think in the middle of the song, because I think it's just kind of simple touching or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. So I think you could at least say it's maybe a little bit shorter for drummers. So
for sure.
Something like that. All right. So I think for challenges, it seemed like your biggest problem has been more financial, or do you think there's maybe other challenges you feel like you face these days as a musician and even the band itself? What challenges do you think the band faces these days?
Scheduling. We all work different schedules. Like Joe, he works mornings, like early mornings. I'm a 9 to 5 guy. Ken is like semi-retired. Ben, he works early too, and Matt, his schedule is sporadic all the time. He's a doctor, so it's whenever. So that's probably the biggest challenge. The finances, not so much, when it comes to, getting the money together and getting the recording and getting merch, we have plenty of that. But like doing long studio stints, like that's going to cost you $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 easily. That's about it. Getting shows, not really. We get show offers. We had 2 show offers in January. We had to turn down. We had one in February because we take January and February off to write and record. That's not the problem. Creativity, we have a backlog of just music that we are just like, fuck yeah. It just, yeah. So, that's about it. This band is the best band that I've ever been in. I've jammed with a lot of people, and, I'm really happy to be, in a band with these guys, because it is just so much fun.
Yeah. I think most people, or at least some of the people I brought on the podcast here for other interviews, it has been mostly within financial, but also maybe the marketing side of it as well. Especially if they want to try to get a tour bus. I say, are we working towards maybe get a tour bus, the Nightmare Mobile or something?
I love that. Yeah, I mean, if we go on a tour, we'll just probably rent an RV. You know, we don't have a ton of equipment. The person who has the most stuff is this guy. You know, but we'll probably just rent an RV or something like that. I mean, I've been in bands where, you know, they have like a bus, they have a trailer, and to own that, it's too much. I would just say renting is more feasible because I mean, you got to think about it. You have to maintain it. You know, if something happens to it, it's gonna. I mean, if you have a bus, it's gonna cost you $500-$600 at minimum. You know, oil changes for those things are $200-$300. So I mean, it's just a lot. So I mean, yeah, sure. If I was in my early 20s and you know we were all young and we were all like, yeah, let's do it. Like, sure, let's go for it. But you know, I'm approaching 40, so I love my career, and then you know, my music is my fun.
Actually, as soon as I said Nightmare Mobile, I was thinking like the Family Guy little skit where Peter apparently has like the hidden Peter or the Peter Copter or something like that there too.
Right.
So unfortunately, I think we're saying Nightmare Mobile. We're probably going to crash it into something at some point.
I thought of the Batmobile when you said Nightmare Mobile. I was like, that's sweet.
Actually, no, you just come shooting right out of the garage we have hidden down under this $1 million tower that we got going here.
Pops up and you come out.
Actually, you can think of like Batman, the animated series there too, especially when the thieves start running and then the Batmobile kicks on with the. That's the whole thing with the intro that kicks on right there too.
Yeah.
So maybe something like that could be a nice little short at some point if we ever wanted to get to a point like that.
Oh, so. we wanna do a music video eventually. And I'm thinking we want to do Dead Roads. I know it's an older song of ours, but I mean, it's just the visuals we could put in that song would be so cool.
I guess have you not came out with any music videos yet?
No.
Okay. So we'll wait patiently for your first music video.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right. And you know what? I forgot to ask about gear. So first off, what gear do you use personally? And I guess, do you know what the other guys use in terms of brands, the guitars, bass, and microphone?
I think I could get the other guys pretty good. Me personally, I have a Mapex Armory Purple Haze 6-piece kit. It's been my workhorse now since 2017. I love her. She's beautiful. I have a plethora of different cymbals, a custom, Peisty 9000 series. I have Meinls, various hardware, Pearl stands or Thomas stands, whatever I need. Tommel double kick. I have a Ludwig universal mahogany snare. And then for the throne, I use a head throne. And then I have a boom microphone because I do backing vocals. I just started doing backing vocals live. Use a Shure SM58 and stuff like that. As for Matt, he used Schecter basses. He's a left-handed player. He has, 6, 7. I don't know. He's got one Spectre bass too. Yeah. He has that, and then he has various, modules. He has a dark glass bass head that he uses. I mean, this thing is this big, and it's just powerful as all hell. As for Joe, he's got Ibanez guitars, 6-string Ibanez, Angle cab, and he just introduced his new pedal board. You could check it out on our Instagram. I have no idea what he's got on that thing. I know he has a tuner and a chorus pedal. I do know that. And then Ben, he's got a Line 6 amp, and he plays Jackson guitars.
All we know is it makes the guitar make strange noises, and we like it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Have you actually rolled with Mapex, or have you kind of jumped around a little bit before you settled on Mapex after 2017?
No, I rolled around a little bit. I played Ludwig was my first drum set, loved it. Then I moved to a Tama World Series 9-piece kit, and then I moved to a Pearl Export just as a temporary kit. Then I bought my Mapex. Then I bought a Ludwig accent combo kit, and then I bought a 1985 Thomas Superstar Concert Tom 10-piece drum set that I would like to play out, but I mean that thing is so freaking big. And then I have for my practice kit for Nightmare, I have a Ludwig accent combo um, over there that's red. It's pretty cool.
As soon as you said 1985, I immediately thought Bowling for Soup. Just as
Oh
soon as
my
I could
god!
get it.
Was that? Was it? Wait, 1985? Yeah, I remember that song. I remember seeing that on like TRL.
I don't know if it was MTV or whether it was just a random YouTube video that just popped up one day. I was like, let's just watch it.
Right. I remember that song.
Oh god! Actually, boy, their lead singer, my god, he put on some weight just to say the least. Oh yeah,
I'll check it out.
I mean, I thought they had one guitar player who was overweight, and it's almost like the two of them like had a baby at some point. And like, there's this guy right here. So,
You two, we need a baby.
apparently,
Apparently. That's funny.
it's almost like I rolled over the boulder from Indiana Jones at that point. So,
Right.
so it is good to see they are still good there too. But it's always like, damn, son, I remember seeing you in the music video and you were skinny as all hell. Now it's almost like getting those David hot dog eating contests kind of caught up to you or something.
His metabolism was like, hey, buddy, it's time to slow down.
I guess so. But
Yeah.
still goes strong bowling. We still love you guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The last question right here, actually, before we jump into the fun ones, this one kind of concerns more of like AI and social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you handle the social media side, but what social media are you guys on, and what do you make of AI and social media these days?
We are on YouTube at Nightmare Empire Band. We are at Instagram at Nightmare Empire Band, and we're on Facebook at Nightmare Empire Band. The social media side it's Joe handles the Facebook. I used to handle it, but I'm not on Facebook anymore. I'm just done with it. But I'll handle the YouTube and I'll handle the Instagram. I'll make the posts, I'll take the pictures, come up with the hashtags or whatever the description is, and I love it. But as for the AI, I'm a network engineer. I've been working in technology for 20 years. And one of my favorite movies, and this is one of your fun questions I'll answer early. One of my favorite movies is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I mean,
we're living in that scenario, man, where you cannot pick a bad movie at the time. So,
and the thing is, it's like, I see a lot of bands, going to AI for artistry, and there's plenty of great artists out there. People just don't want to pay it. They're like, why should I pay if I could come, type something in to Gemini, or I could type something in OpenAI, or I could ask Cortana or whatever it is, or ChatGPT to do it for me, or pay $5 for a service to do it for me. And it's AI, it's not original, per se. It was just a computer, came up with it. To me, I would like to see more of the human element with it, because, the creativity of a human brain is something that you can't really replicate with, a computer. We teach the computers, we give them the input. So from an artistry standpoint, if bands could use it all day, whatever, go for it. Me personally, I'm not doing it. I'm just not. And then as for the musical side, people are getting sued over, creating, AI music, and because the AI music, what is it doing? It's taking all these songs, and sure, to imitate is to create, but you're using a computer to do it for you. You're just typing in a couple of lines. I want heavy music. I want fast riffs. I want this. And you're having a computer do it. There's no freaking creativity with it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, actually, I was be like, I am your master now. So,
I'm your master. What did you type in? Master of Puppets by Metallica?
Actually, I just figured Disney's a lot in that case, where Jafar gets the layup at that point. So, it's almost like, AI, grant me my first wish. That whole deal.
Oh my God. Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. So actually, I was actually supposed to get somebody who actually uses 80 to probably 90% AI for their music. I think they do maybe some guitars or maybe some other keyboard elements like here or there. I didn't get him on yet, but I'm actually going to interview him at some point. So now I want to I eventually would at least get to that point, be like, okay, how do you deal with that whole pressure on you, especially when people are criticizing it? And I think Bandcamp actually put out a post saying we're not going to have AI music on our platform. So I thought it was one of those two. So
That'd be great.
they did already do. I know one of the platforms did do that. They said we're not taking AI music, so no AI music here at all.
Oh,
So,
good. That's great.
not to see. So Drake carefully good shoulder his head. Good choice for the movie, the two.
Yeah.
So that was still with Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Because and then or was it the first Terminator where he says the whole "I'll be back" sort of deal?
He says it in both.
He does this about.
In the first one is when he leans over, because Arnold is one of my favorite. I love action movies. He leans over the police station. I'll be back, and then he drives the car right into the police station.
Good old Arnold. He's
Right.
I mean, I think even after he's long gone, I mean, people are still gonna like imitate the voice, the whole thing, the whole get to the chopper deal. So
Oh, 100%. Austrian Death Machine wrote a whole record on it.
that'll whatever we're gonna do.
I know.
All right, but God bless Arnold Schwarzenegger. We still love you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
The original Terminator. So, all right. So, Chris, we have brief questions here. Pretty good. So, you already jumped into the fun ones here. So, you ready for some of the other ones?
Let's go.
All right. So, I'm assuming you're also a video game nerd. So, we'll replace the movie one with video games. So, first off, are you more computer? Or do you do console? And then, which one would you consider your favorite video game of all time?
So I'm a PC guy. I do play console. I love console, but when it comes to mouse keyboard, there's no better feeling for it. I built computers. I've played. Oh my gosh, I started playing computer games when I was real young. StarCraft, Half-Life, Warcraft, Command and Conquer. Oh gosh. Counter-Strike. I mean, Red Faction. I could keep going. I could go. You should see my Steam account.
I was going to say, were you one of those League of Legends sort of nerds?
Not so much that, but I was an RTS nerd. Like, you give me any type of real time straight, like Age of Empires, right? Civilization. I mean, that's where you'll find me.
In other words, created his own world in this case. So, all right, those are great choices right there.
Yeah.
Which consoles though? Do you do both Xbox and PlayStation?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a 360 on right now. You can see the TV.
Oh, that's what's playing right there. I thought
No,
it was
not
just
360 and Xbox One. I apologize. Yeah, I'm just playing my YouTube off of it. Yeah, no, I started real young. My first console was a Nintendo, and then I had them all, Brian. I had Super Nintendo, I had 64, I had GameCube, I had Dreamcast, I had Sega CD, I had Sega Master, I had Xbox 360, I had PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. I had the Super Scope with Super Nintendo. I mean, I had so much. My collection was awesome. I wish I still had it because I see the dollar amount of these freaking games these days, and I'm just like, God. But it is what it is.
I could have bought a better Apex drum set.
I could have.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Actually, I've always mostly rolled PlayStation, but I did play a little bit on the 360 with mainly Gears of War.
Oh, great game.
Oh, it's always fun when you want to hack and slash with the chainsaw and all that.
Oh, yeah.
It's the one time where Texas Chainsaw Massacre can be applied to a video game and you just love it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, too.
I guess I know you mentioned movies earlier, so would you say Terminator 2's your favorite, and then top 10 maybe somewhere in the mix is Texas Chainsaw?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a huge action guy, and I love horror movies. I would say some of my favorite horror movies. I like, of course, the OGs, Texas Chainsaw. I like, Nightmare on Elm Street. I like Friday the 13th, Child's Play, all those. When it comes to action movies, I mean, Stallone, Van Damme, Arnold. I mean, I could keep going, but I'm a huge dystopian guy. Like Blade Runner 2049 is, Mad Max. I love those kind of movies. They're probably some of my favorite. I'll watch them for the rest of my life.
I actually remember when Blade Runner 2049 actually came out. I actually did go see it. And I guess my problem was I didn't watch the original one. So I guess I was a little lost. So
The original one's great. You should definitely check it out.
Oh, I definitely see it, especially the whole thing with that guy. What was it, Roy Beatty? Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Giving his nice little speech at the end before he jumps over the edge.
Just jumps over the edge and just dies. Yeah.
Yep. He was doomed anyway, so might as well go with me. So, all right. What would you consider your favorite food? I don't know if there's a particular dish I haven't heard about from Cleveland.
My favorite food? Oh, I love sushi. Love sushi. I love Asian food and Italian food. But nothing beats a juicy ribeye with a sweet potato and green beans. Nothing.
So we fit in an American dish between the Asian and the Italian dish. So.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I don't know what's up with the sushi, to be honest, because you know what? I think for me, I got to try it a little bit more there too. So I tend to wonder if it's 7-Eleven's fault, to be honest, because I thought they started off with the sushi at the gas stations there or something. And then somehow it crept in like some of the other parts of the business. I don't know, but what were you gonna say?
Oh, that's where you started. You started all wrong. You got to go to a higher end place because, I mean, they incorporate like different types of mayo, types of fish. I mean, you can get some that's sweet, you get some that's more vinegary. I mean, it just all depends on what you want. And the rice, if the rice is good, you're gonna have a good experience. That's the biggest thing.
I was thinking that's how it all started. It first started at the gas stations, and then it crept into the other parts of the world. So I haven't tried it at the gas station, so it's probably a good thing there too. But
yeah.
So, all right, that's a good choice. I guess in terms of music, what you been listening to recently, whether they're indie or I guess what we consider mainstream or in between mainstream and indie.
Well, it depends. I mean, you should see my playlist. On my metal playlist on Spotify, I think I have almost 20 hours worth of songs on just the playlist. But I mean, I'm listening to anything from AC/DC to Metallica to Beneath the Massacre to Aborted, Cannibal Corpse, Behemoth, Megadeth, Pantera, Slayer when it comes to metal. But then I'll switch gears. I'll listen to some blues, Howling Wolf, Muddy Waters. Or I'll switch it up and I'll listen to some like Alice in Chains, or I'll listen to some some Jimi Hendrix. I do like Hendrix. But then my one friend showed me a new style of it reminds me of like video game music a little bit. It's more chopped and screwed. It's called funk, PHONK. There's artists like Chemical Soup. There's Toa. There's Play of Funk out there, and it's just like they're not long songs. Right, they're a minute to maybe 3 minutes, maybe. But they're little spurts, and you can listen to them over and over again, and they're like trancey. They're really cool to relax to, or really cool just to vibe to when you're like if you're working on something, or if you just want to fucking chill.
It's like Chemical Soup.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm telling you, it's good stuff.
It's so weird about the names they come up with, but then it's like look past the name. You got to get to the music. That's where it matters.
Exactly. Well, exactly. And the thing is, too, with that music, it reminds me a lot of when I was a child, when I would listen to some of the, like the techno or house music that they had in like Command and Conquer. Like, I mean, if you listen to some of those old soundtracks, I mean, they hit hard. It's driving bass, and it's just like, okay, this is sweet. So listening to that, I was like, okay, this is kind of like a transcendence of that, in my opinion.
Actually, no, I think more of like the soundtrack you would hear. I was more into like the Dark Souls and the Souls board game, as they would call all the games that came out from From Software. So I think when it got to like some of the boss's music, for instance, more so like when you got near the end of the game, for instance, it was like, oh, those ones hit hard. When you just listen to it by yourself, when you're not trying to get killed by the final boss. So.
Well, for me, one soundtrack that I really liked when I first got into the the RPG games was Final Fantasy VII soundtrack. That soundtrack is just so good.
So that guy deserved a raise. So
he deserves a raise.
You say we need that guy on our team now.
Right.
So, all right, those are all great choices. I think I did maybe cover hobbies, but outside of video games, even work in music, do you do any other hobbies?
Yeah. I love to be mechanical. I'll build things. I work on my vehicle all the time. I'll take rebuild the front end or put an exhaust in or tear the engine apart, have to put in the new fuel injector, spark plugs, fuel rail, whatever it may be. My father, he's a master carpenter by trade. So I guess it was in my blood. I like to, work on housing projects. If I have to, take apart stuff, fill stuff in, sand it down, repaint, or put up some drywall or put in some cabinets, whatever it is, I do love doing that stuff. And when I was younger, I don't do it so much now in my middle age, but I love to build models, if it was Gundam Wing models, if it was Legos, Connects, I just loved it. But I love building computers and computer networks. So I know that's my career, but it's also a hobby of mine too.
I'm gonna say I'm turning to you if I want to build a computer at some point. I don't know for what at some point. So.
Yeah, I'm here to help.
All right. And actually, let me guess. Do you have the Legos still in your attic?
Yeah. I have my Star Wars Legos in storage right now.
I am so guilty of that too. Oh my gosh! And I've been always thinking about trying to get them out, just rebuild them again. But because of my foolish childhood of just tearing it all apart, just wanted to maybe build something else.
Right.
So stupid me. So what can you do?
What can you do? Right? Yeah.
We gotta get together at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
So, we gotta see. So if we have the time though too, I work too much to be honest in terms of the main job and even a secondary job, which I do at a restaurant to be honest. So it helps with the cooking. So I at least got a little culinary school out of it. So
very nice. I was a cook. I was a sous chef for a couple of years too. That's another hobby of mine. I love to cook.
Because what were you doing? Were you more of like working a barbecue joint, or were they kind of like a quasi Italian joint, I should say?
No, it was bistro, homestyle bistro. Yeah. I did everything from cooking the steaks to making the pasta dishes to cooking the pizzas, desserts. I did it all.
We bring out the Italian, and yeah, that's for sure. Just,
I
don't know. It's almost like you have to do it like twice. Like,
right. Yeah.
Or it's actually that little beam. I think they use Emperor's New Groove, and I think the white characters just go like, just like that. It'd be like just right.
It's just right.
That's not like that. Or it's one of those things like, hold it, just pretend that's good, but don't tell them that sucks. So, yeah. So, all right. So, Chris, we have briefed through all the questions. We are down to one more on my podcast. Before we jump into it, would you like to ask me anything real quick?
Yeah, sure. How long have you been doing this? I mean, this is great.
Let's see. Started 2021, and so it's going to be now 5 years. So I got to see when I released the first episode, because it actually was with a friend of mine I went to college with. He's now a drummer as well. He's down this, I didn't mention not real big in the country, but he is part of a country group now. Mm-hmm. So living large, that's what we say there too.
And what got you into music?
Music, technically it had always been there. So my dad, he was always a classic rock guy, but he'd tell you he's 60 and then kind of drew the line with Metallica as like the only band that went further past the 80s, and Motley Crue, I should say, because I know they were in that mix. But that's kind of how it started. But I was always limited, so I always had just 6 bands. I listened to a good bit, even though I listened to like some other ones here and there. The main ones I would always go for was like Bush, Van Halen, Three Doors Down, rest in peace, Brad Arnold, and Bruce Springsteen, Vertical Horizon. And I always forget what the damn 6th one is. It's always in the mix. So I think I got to change it down to 5 instead of 6, because I could always remember those ones the most.
Have you ever seen Van Halen live?
I have not. Oh. I was so bummed. Actually, my dad, it was the last time they had David Lee Roth. It was 1984. They came to what was then the Civic Arena. It's now changed to PPG Paints.
Okay.
So that was 1984. It was like, why did you have a camera on you? That whole deal.
I saw them back in 2015, and it was incredible. David Lee Roth even sounded good, and I was surprised by that.
You would almost take all the high-pitched screams he was always doing throughout his tenure, and even, I guess, when he only went out to his solo work, I don't know how crazy he was on that work. So, I always keep thinking of Everybody Wants Something. It's actually one of my dad's favorites from Van Halen.
That's a good tune.
It starts off right, but he gets really wrong. It's like doing all these funky sounds in the background there, too. So it's like, what are we doing here? So,
That's cool. No, yeah. And you play drums, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. How long have you played drums for?
Believe it or not, it was one of those video games are good for something because it started with Rock Band.
Hell yeah.
And so I started said Guitar Hero because I was into like those sorts of games back in the day. It started with Guitar Hero, then we transitioned into Rock Band because
Okay.
they had a lot more better set lists and all that stuff.
Right.
But there may be like some tendencies where you're using pencils, you want to tap on the desk, for instance, whenever you want to tap on something. So, but it was definitely more a Rock Band that kickstarted it all with getting on drums. And when my parents realized this wasn't just something that's going to go away, they're like, "We'll get you. How about we get you the set and then see where it goes?"
Nice.
So it's always been Roland. I've always rolled with Roland sets, and I don't know how much you get into electronic sets. Have you ever tried any electronic sets?
Yeah, I had an Alesis MK2, and I broke it because I'm I'm trying to play like practice on and do blast beats on it, and they're just not designed for that kind of stuff. Maybe the higher end Rolands are, because I know Roland really makes some really high quality stuff. But I never went past the Alesis,
No, definitely the one I got right now, which I upgraded to a Roland TD 25K, and then now I transitioned recently to a Roland VAD 706. So it looks more like a traditional set.
Oh, is it the one with it's got the actual shells?
Yep.
Oh, nice. That's a nice set.
Oh yeah. So it looks like a legit set, but unfortunately you can still see the wires. I thought they would be able to hide that, but like, what? Screw it. Let's go
Come
play.
on, Roland, get it together.
So yeah. Have the wires hide within the stance.
Yeah, nice.
That's probably what they should do. But yeah, I've been doing drumming. I've actually released some music with my drumming. I'm actually part of 3 metal groups right now. So I would like to get to session musician at some point. So I'm kind of treading in that direction at the moment.
Good.
Maybe not play live, but just studio bands. I'm actually pretty happy with studio bands.
Good. Yeah, send me your stuff. I'd love to hear it.
All right. Will do. Anything else?
No, that's about it.
All right. So here's how the last question will go.
Okay.
So given the amount of negativity that you have been seeing, whether it's in the news or maybe just even conversations you have with people in general, these days, I feel like people need some sort of hope. So what would be your message of hope for musicians and people out there so they can move forward with their lives?
Oh, boy. The one from a musician standpoint, growth comes in time. Growth comes with hard work and perseverance. I understand the world is what they perceive on TV and how the media is projecting it, it's made to bring you down. But take a look around and don't let it affect your daily life. Until it affects your daily life, don't let it permeate. And always try to stay positive and try to grow yourself, because you never know, saying hello or asking somebody, how their day's going could change their life forever, or prevent something a catastrophe or whatever. That's my approach. I've had some rough times in my life. I've been to some dark places in my life, but I'm alive. I've died twice. I've been clinically dead twice. I died on the operating table. And I appreciate life and the people that I have, and I love them all very much. And I try to stay positive, and I try to bring them up and keep them, going. So just always remind yourself that, yeah, somebody always could have it worse than you, and there's always a brighter day coming.
I should almost say, a zombie.
And be prepared for the zombie apocalypse. That's all I'm telling you.
Oh, God. We turned into The Walking Dead.
Oh, that's a great show.
It
got a little weird in the later seasons, but the first 3 or 4 seasons were fantastic.
That seems to be how it goes. It was the same way with Game of Thrones. It's like first 4 seasons, pure gold cinema.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Game of Thrones. Oh, that was good stuff. That was really good stuff.
And you fucked it up.
So. And you fucked it up. But yeah, no. Yeah, that's all I say. And for musicians out there, practice. Trust me, you'll get frustrated. I've been playing music since I'm 38. I've been making music since I've been 10 or 11 years old. And sure, I got frustrated and I plateaued and I didn't think I was going to get any better. And one day I was just like, okay, I can do this now, so just keep practicing. It will get better.
Spoke like a bunch of true prodigy. So that's for sure. So actually, no, I will set it in the plural. That's right there. So spoke like a true prodigy. There we go. So there we go.
Cool.
I got so used to doing it with bands. That's the thing. I like 2 more people out here. So unfortunately, I have to try to branch that out a little bit. So,
nice.
Apologies there. All right. But nonetheless, Chris, we have reached the end of my podcast right here. We talked a little over an hour, probably going to be close to 15 minutes. But I guess before we close out, would you like to give any shouts to anybody real quick?
To all the fans, my friends, my family, thank you for your support. I love you all. And especially, my bandmates. Without you guys, we couldn't jam and have a good time and make some fun music.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
And last thing for the audience, what streaming platforms and social media are you on so you can check out and interact?
All of them. No, so for music, you could find us on all streaming platforms. I mean, Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, Snapchat, even Tidal, iHeartRadio. I'd have to literally look at my app. There was like 20 of them in 4 lines. But if you want to get a hold of us or check out our live videos that I shoot or any media, you want to check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. It's all at Nightmare Empire Band. You'll be able to find me. You'll be talking to me if you message me on Instagram. You'll be talking to Joe if you message him on Facebook. And if you message on YouTube, you'll be talking to me or you'll be talking to Matt.
I guess you guys also put the banners or whatever shows you got to be playing next on Instagram and Facebook and all the places.
Yeah,
so
we promote. Yeah, we promote all of our shows. You'll find it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You'll see upcoming dates, upcoming material or whatever we have cooking, or just any update for like, hey, it's studio day, or hey, it's just practice day. We got a new riff, or I'll record Joe playing a new riff. What do you guys think? Like this is what we got going on.
I probably was meant for upcoming dates. That's probably how I should have worded it. So
yeah,
sorry for repeating yourself, but we're all good there.
Yeah.
All right, but we have to close out like this. So everyone, my guest today was Chris, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio. He's part of the band Nightmare Empire. He's a drummer right here, so make sure you hit him up on his socials and streaming platforms. And I guess for your other projects too, are you currently still active? And I guess can they also find the other projects on the same streaming platforms and social media?
Yes, I am active with my band MEV. You can find us on the streaming platforms. It's just MEV_metal for Instagram. And if you search us on any of the music streaming platforms, it's M.E.V. Then that'll be that. It's instrumental death metal. You'll see a picture of the 3 of us on there. I have a shaved bald head with my drumsticks, and I'm just, trying to look as metal as I can. So.
All right, sounds good. So you heard from Chris right here too. So make sure you go check out those projects as well. So Chris, thank you again so much again for coming on here, mates. So good luck this year, boys, and stay safe because you know there's one pretty fucked up world out there. Mm-hmm. Rock on. And lastly, strike a pose. Stay tuned, y'all.
All right.